you see this one going?
Well, I can't see Netherlands losing, to be quite honest, Dave. I mean, Michael van Gerwen, although he lost to Brendan Dolan, you know he's going to be up for this. He's played exceptionally well, even when he's lost. So the scoring power is going to be with the Dutch. We know Brendan Dolan's going to play well because he's played a great captain's job. But as I said earlier on, Mickey Mansell now has got to step it up. He's never been in this position before. Looks a bit edgy, a bit nervous, but he's got to start putting them 81s and 60s into tons and ton pluses.
How could Dolan pick Mansell up and get him refocused?
Well, you know, he's got to put his arm on his shoulder and say, come on, we're in this position. It was the best position they could have had, I think. They were hoping to get to this pairs match, and they're there. So it's like, right, let's get at it. Let's forget about the nerves. Let's just stay focused. And he just, every time Brendan comes back, just says, come on, Mickey, you know, pick it up and just encourage him as much as he can.
Tell you what, it makes it interesting though, Rod, doesn't it?
Well, as we've said so often, I mean, anything can happen in these pairs. You know, a couple of missed doubles and the Irish get in front, and it's just so tight. It is hard to call. I know, the Netherlands are the favourites, no question, but the Irish, the luck of the Irish may come in.
Barney looks very, very serious. I don't think he's enjoying himself, is he?
No, well, I was in the players room earlier on, and there was an awful lot of banter going on between the English and the Dutch. It was really getting quite nasty at times, I have to say. But that's all part of the sport, so perhaps he's focused and there to prove a point.
Do you think it's going to be a Netherlands-England final, and then the banter can turn into aggression on the board?
Exactly, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, and that's going to be the final. I think everybody wants to watch the four best players in the world go and hammer and toms at each other, and then we will see that banter get more aggressive.
If it's possible. John Parr and Stuart Pye, your commentators.
Well, fabulous day, and another doubles decider. 4 out of the 5 games we've seen today have come to this. Barneveld and Van Gerwen will start the favourites, I'm sure. Brendan Dolan has been outstanding from the very first dart that he threw in this tournament. Is Mickey Mansell the weak link, or is that unfair on the Irish number 2? There's Devon Peterson, Graham Philby, South African stars.
Yeah, well, you know, he'll be what he's going to be. We'll see what he's going to be. He's had a chance to regroup. These 3 darts will tell the tale of what he might contribute, I think. He's just been up there not 10 minutes before, so shouldn't take long. A good solid effort, especially considering the first dart didn't go in. That it's frustrating. And he's hung in there, dug out a ton. Very good effort for Mansell, and that's a good sign for Dolan and Ireland.
Well, against Belgium in the quarterfinals, after Van Gerwen had lost to Kim Huybrechts and Barneveld had beaten Ronnie Huybrechts, the Dutch raced through the doubles, didn't they? Belgium missed some chances, but a 4-0 in the doubles decider.
Well, the second singles in this case was the 4-0, and might start swinging back the other way.
Brilliant darts, terrific thinking. Left to finish for Barneveld. All of a sudden, pressure on Michael Mansell. Good dart though.
Yes, good thinking there. Wanted to get the 96. Still left 117, even though we missed an interforce. So it's a good leave, and pressure on for Barney here if he's trying to break. He's got the first and the second, tops for 160.
Well, I thought it was going in. I really did. So it's in the hands of Brendan Dolan. He's been so good at finishing in this World Cup.
97.
And that for a hold of throw. Ireland with the advantage in this deciding match. The break is there. The double 10 has done it. Now it's up to Ireland to break Holland.
Teamwork. Barney so close to the 160 out.
Well, the 145 to set up the 160, a fantastic shot.
Perfect teamwork, wasn't it? One dart for Brendan at tops. How much difference will it make?
you know, I'd have to say that Dolan and Mansell played it very well as a team there in that leg as well. I mean, they each basically got a ton of turn, and it resulted in the one dart for a double, and it wasn't a bad effort. So good teamwork all around so far.
The words silky and smooth come to mind.
Sultry even.
He's been so good, Barneveld.
84.
.140 was needed to leave a finish.
Yeah, you could see on the second dart when he missed, he realized he had no chance to leave a finish, and he's looking a bit deflated, more than a bit deflated, Dolan. After he dropped that dart at tops he had on the 117 about an inch low. The first really poor dart from Dolan we've seen for a while.
92.
Good darts again from Barneveld to leave his young compatriot on a two-darter for 2-0.
Netherlands to require 45.
For 2-0. Double 16. Clinical darts for the Netherlands.
Northern Ireland in front first. NIR.
It seems like Dolan just trying too hard at this point to try and keep up to the duo of Barneveld and Van Gerwen.
It's a one-way back now for Northern Ireland. But Barneveld and Van Gerwen are stamping their authority all over this doubles decider. But here comes Mansell.
Yeah, time for him to be a hero.
140.
I mean, Northern Ireland just cannot afford to get broken here and go down 3-0. That's just, there's no way back. No way back.
At the moment, the Dutch are just too good. There you go. That's why.
118 in the pairs event. It's just phenomenal. A little harder to play at a high level sometimes when you're throwing every fourth turn rather than every second turn. And it's kind of similar. Almost left 16 after 9 darts, but 56 will do. I'm saying, like, you play double in format, that takes about 10 off the average. You could probably say something similar here, and they get 120 average between them, these Dutch guys.
140 from Mansell. But will Dolan get a shot at 64 as Barney looks at tops? It's a good marker for him. He just looks, Barneveld, in the zone.
You know, there's just a possibility here, Stuart, that the highest ever possible, highest ever average on television might actually end up being a pair effort.
Yep.
It's quite conceivable.
Yep. It might only be 4 legs, but 118.66. Philip Taylor against Kevin Painter at the UK Open.
45.
If I'm not mistaken. I don't think I am.
Well, this has every chance of them bettering that, although shorter formats, okay, but it's pairs. It's harder because it's pairs. So I think that offsets a little bit.
Ruthless, this performance from Holland. They've just stepped up, haven't they? It really has been class from Van Barneveld and Van Gerwen.
Well, they're going to need to take this out in 6 for any sort of a record. That's a good start. Great start. Fantastic darts. Down to 96 after 9. 96 points away from a final.
And the record. Phenomenal performance. Amazing average. Double 8. Fantastic performance. And a world record average, is it? I'm not sure. I think it just dips below. Holland go through to the World Cup final. The average is 117.88. They did as well as they possibly could. They just miss out on a world record average. And if they carry on like that, Barneveld and Van Gerwen could be destined to rule the world tonight.